Welcome to Puppet Creations, and you'll have to excuse my voice. I'm on the tail end of a cold, so I sound a little raspy. So here's some of the things you'll need for creating a puppet. Of course, a sewing machine, and you'll need a glue gun, a pair of scissors, a utility knife, or whatever you craft knife if you want to call it that, a marking pencil. It doesn't matter what color, just as long as you can mark on black fabric. You're going to need polyfill, which you can get at Walmart. Of course, felt. You'll need 6 pieces of felt for one puppet, and then 1 black piece. So you'll need 7 altogether. And you can get those, well, Walmart used to carry quite a few colors, but Hobby Lobby or Michaels. And then you're going to need a 1-inch piece of foam, and that can also be bought at Walmart. And those dimensions are around 7.5 inches by 14 inches, or 16, excuse me, 7.5 by 16. And then you're going to need a black foam board, and that's that. It's not really, well, that's what's called foam board. Okay, you're going to need a roll of black duct tape, and of course thread, and of course the pattern. And it's always handy to have something like this. This is just a rod, one of those type curtain rods, but it comes in real handy. And you'll see why in just a little bit. Pin cushion if you need to use pins, and last but not least, these are eyeballs, and this is a ping pong ball that I cut in half with a scroll saw. So if you have somebody that has a scroll saw and can cut you a bunch of these, just be real careful you don't get your fingers, but those will be used for the eyeballs. You don't have to use those types for the eyeballs, but they work real well. Let's see if we missed anything. I believe that's it, so we're going to get started on creating a puppet for less than $10. Now, when you initially buy all this stuff, it's going to cost you more than $10, but if you keep doing this, you can actually make a puppet for less than $10 total cost. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to draw out our patterns, and we've got 2 pieces of felt here. Okay. So we're going to draw them out, and you can just use a pen or something like that. And simply do it on the other side. I like to leave that part open there in the middle, so that we can use that for ears or nose or something like that. So try to utilize your space the best that you can. And here's the head part. And again, you've got 2 pieces of felt. And we'll do the same thing with the chest part. We're going to put this on, of course, 2 new pieces of felt, and we're just going to do like that. And then we'll be done our pattern cutting. Almost done our pattern cutting. We're going to be making our mouth as well. This is when that little blue pencil comes in handy. Going to draw that. And then we're also going to make marks on the mouth, but we're going to do them on the inside. So just right underneath that on either side, so we know where to cut it in the middle. Okay? And the other thing we're also going to do is use our black piece of felt, because we need to make our mouth, and we're going to cut that just about 1/4 inch bigger than the circle. So we're gonna, it's kind of hard to do it on the felt, but you don't have to be exact on that, but just about 1/4 inch out. I'll try to darken that in so you can see it a little better on the video. If can see that or not, but just about, again, about a 1/4 inch all the way around it. And again, it doesn't have to be real exact, but try to get as close as you can. You have to sharpen your pencil time to time. Okay, so now you've got a, that's not going to show up on the camera. Yeah, there it is. You've got your circle there that you can cut out. And then for the board, we want to cut that out with this craft knife. And generally it's a good idea to use a cutting board underneath that. So we're going to cut that out here in just a minute. Okay, after you've got your foam board cut out, then you want to cut that in half. And we had our 2 marks there. So we're going to go ahead and chop that in half. And we should have 2 pieces identical. And if they're a little bit off, that's fine, just as long as they're fairly close. Now we're going to go ahead and work the mouth. So let's take our duct tape, and we want to tear off some strips that are almost about the same, a little over the length of the edge of the mouth there. So we're going to need 4 of those. And then we're going to need a piece of that foam board. And this is what we're going to do here. The mouth obviously goes like that, you know, and you put your hand over top and you control it. But if you duct tape this edge of the foam board flat like that, you're not going to have the ability to put the felt in the middle for the mouth. So what you want to do is you want to take just a piece of foam board back here, and you want to put it in the middle like that. Get over here where you can see better. Okay, just like that, kind of like a sandwich. And then you're going to run your duct tape over this edge right here. So take your duct tape. Okay. And just like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to reinforce that with a second piece. And then you're going to open it up and take out that middle piece. So when it opens up, it kind of looks like that. Okay. Now we're going to take the duct tape and our other pieces. You don't want to pull this out all the way, but again, you want to remember you're going to be pulling it over. So you want to take your middle duct tape and you want to put it right smack across the middle, just like that. Okay, so now you have a working mouth. And again, we're going to reinforce that. Pressing down on it fairly firm. Not on this side because you don't want to squeeze it together all the way. But now you have your mouth and you can squeeze that middle section together like what I'm doing. Okay. The next thing you want to do is, this is going to be, of course, the inside of the mouth, and your hand is going to be on this part here, and your hand gets sweaty, and this is foam board. So we want to protect this area with some duct tape. So let's take several strips again, and I like to start on the end first, down there, and then come back towards the middle. And I just generally just put 2 pieces. That's about all you need. Okay, and now you've got a mess. But you just pull it over like that, and we're just going to take our knife and we're going to trim all the edges of that tape. Take all that tape off. Okay, and now we have our finished mouthpiece as far as the foam board and duct tape is concerned. We'll come back to that here shortly. We have our black sleeve, and what we're going to do with this is we're just going to put a just a simple hem in the bottom of that. And this is an 18-inch square, so it doesn't matter where you put the hem in. I usually just put it in the end, and if it's a piece of material that frays a lot, I usually take it and turn it over once and then turn it over again and then hem it that way, and that way it keeps all the frays down. I normally use black thread, but I didn't feel like changing it out, so we've got pink thread in the bottom, which that's fine. Now that we have our hem sewn in there, we're going to take that, this is the outside edge, right here, the outside edge. We're going to take that and we're going to bring that together, and we're going to sew down this other side. So we're gonna when it's all said and done, we're gonna have a sleeve. Okay, so we're gonna sew down this side right here. Okay, now that you have your sleeve sewn, you're going to take it and bring it inside, or right side out. Okay, and then we're going to glue it to the foam board mouth. So that'll be the next step. And I'll get the glue gun ready. Alright, we're going to take our glue. We're just going to put a dab right here on the edge. And we're going to take our, hopefully that'll stay, we're going to take our sleeve, and this is the outside seam. We're going to take that and we're going to glue that on the edge of that mouth, just barely covering over the top of it. And where we're putting our seam is about halfway to where, let me see if we can get this to the, if it'll work or not. Where we're putting our seam is about halfway center of the mouth. Okay, so that's where we want our seam at. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to glue this all the way around. But before we do this sides here, we're going to do the other side. So we've got this one side. Let's come around here to the other side, and we're going to throw a little glue on there. Hot glue. And then we're going to bring this mouthpiece up, hopefully before the glue dries. And there we go. Now, I should have made my sleeve just a little bit bigger so that we'd have a little bit more room, because as you can see it's kind of tight right now on the sides, but that's okay. You can go ahead and take your scissors and just slit that a little extra there so that it'll fit okay. Okay, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and glue all the way around that mouthpiece. So we're going to do that with our hot glue. Okay. I'm going to cut that just a little bit more, get a little more room. You can always trim off the excess. And of course, after the glue dries, you can peel that off as well, which we'll do here in a minute. Coming over to this side, remember we already had there's where our seam is at. We already have it glued, so we just need to come around this way now. And then this last side. And that's all we're going to do with the mouthpiece for now. So we have our mouthpiece, and let me zoom back out in a little bit. Okay, and now we have our mouthpiece. And this is going to be where your hand is at, inside the puppet's mouth. That's why you have this sleeve coming down to your, almost to your elbow. And but that's the inside of the mouth. Hey there, how are you doing? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to sew our hands, arms. I think you can see the outline there, just barely. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and sew those, and then we're going to cut off the excess when we're done. Now, when you get down to this point right here, make sure that you get both edges of this, because as you can see, of course, I've got two pieces of felt here. I've moved my felt over a little bit, and I'm going to end up cutting or end up sewing around here and missing that bottom piece. So you want to make sure that you have that lined up correctly, and in this case I'm just going to compensate by coming in a little bit on this. Okay, we've just finished sewing the hand, and we don't want to sew across the end. We want to leave that open, so we're going to cut that, and that's going to be the open part. And then we're going to trim around where we cut. We probably just want to leave about 1/8 of an inch. We're just going to trim that up all the way around the outline there. Okay, this is the couple pieces of felt that were left over from in between those hands. Let's just go ahead and we'll make a nose out of this one. We're not going to do ears for this girl puppet because she's going to have hair covering her ears, but we're just going to, you can make a nose. Just don't have to be very big. You can see that. Anyways, we're just going to cut out a circle about kind of like that, and that will be her nose, so stand by. Okay, so now we've got her nose. We can go ahead and turn that inside out, and we're going to stuff that here shortly when we get to the head part. Okay, so we'll put that aside for now.